Hey, good evening, everybody. Forgive the informal look. Um, my wife is having a mahjong party in the kitchen, so I am relegated to my office, uh, post-workout, baseball hat, etc. But as I was working out, and I was reflecting on some of the stuff from the day, I I wanted to impart a lesson. I've talked through this scenario a couple times, but I figured I would, instead of referencing a movie clip, I talk through the movie clip. So I don't know how many years ago, Russell Crowe was pretty rough looking, but in the movie A Beautiful Mind, early in the sequence, John Nash, who's a mathematician and deep thinker at Princeton, I believe it was. There's a scene where they're in a bar with a bunch of other academics. They're drinking, and in walk four girls or five girls, one striking blonde and a bunch of brunettes. And the men start to compete. And so I'm going to play this for you and talk you through how game theory applies to business brokerage. And this is important for business sellers in particular to understand the importance of how a broker should be creating competition and how when you're picking your broker, you need to make sure that they're gaming the system to your best advantage. So let's take a look, and I may pause it if something strikes me.
I should look at Ash.
Gosh. All right, he may have the upper hand now, but wait until he opens his mouth. You last time.
Oh, yeah, that's the history book.
Adam Smith needs revision. What are you talking about? We all go for the blonde. We block each other. Not a single one of us is going to get her. So then we go for her friends. But they will all give us the cold shoulder because nobody likes to be second choice. What if no one goes for the blonde? We don't get in each other's way, and we don't insult the other girls. It's the only way we win. That's the only way we all get laid. Adam Smith said, best result comes from everyone in the group doing what's best for himself, right? That's what he said. That's right. Incomplete. Incomplete. Okay. Because the best result would come from everyone in the group doing what's best for himself and the group. Ash, this is some way for you to get the blonde on your own. You can go to Adam.
Governing dynamics, gentlemen. Governing dynamics. Adam Smith.
What's wrong?
So, departing from the crass, comment about getting laid, um, what's interesting in the world of business brokerage is that in Florida, there's a natural marketplace, and there are governing rules, um, governing dynamics, where buyers and sellers put businesses into the marketplace, and the sellers compete to get the best buyers, and then the brokers cooperate with each other, working to each other's best advantage to create the greater outcome. Florida is the only state in the country that does this. Um, Now, to the business sellers and to the business buyers out there, the buyers kind of see when they come in and they're dealing with brokers who are uncooperative, they see it as frustrating and they blame the brokers. So the brokers are not working for the best interest of either themselves in reality or the sellers. They're actually working against them because they're creating chaos and driving away the best buyer, because the best buyer may not be just economic, there may be other variables to it. But Florida is the only place that's kind of evolved forward and created that marketplace. Now ask yourself why that doesn't exist in other states. They'll give a legion of reasons when you talk to the brokers in the other states, but the reality is it's because they're greedy. They do not want to share their commissions, and nor can they believe that there is a marketplace that would be efficient in their state. They think Florida is an anomaly, as opposed to realizing the way they're operating is Stone Age methods. I keep hearkening back that it's the worst thing for everybody the brokers, the buyers, and the sellers. Florida maybe not be perfect, but it's certainly more efficient. Now, as it relates to operating in Florida, it is extremely important for business owners to ask the question because most of them assume that there's a co-brokering model that goes on. They assume that the broker would, of course, expose the business to the widest number of people in a confidential manner in order to get the best price, and that as an agent governed under real estate law, they would not be working in their own best interest, but in the interest of the customer, regardless of agency status. But there are brokers who do not co-broker within the system. They do passive aggressive things. They try to find reasons to say no to other buyers or brokers. But regardless, Florida is still the best in class. But I do think that this movie clip is probably the best example out there of governing dynamics and how a marketplace will grow when everybody's working in concert for everybody's best interest. The old Ronald Reagan, all boats rise, from a good tide, or trickle down economics. There's legitimacy to that. Now, if there are unethical players within a system, it can crater. And in bad times, you will see bad behavior occur. And that's something that all parties, buyers, sellers, and brokers, need to work to make sure that the ecosystem survives, regardless of those outside forces. So I really think that if you're a business owner, you need to ask your broker before you hire them to document and show you how often they co-broker. They have the ability in Florida to show you that. They can go into their system and show you everything they've sold that they cooperated with someone else. And when they refuse to do that, watch them tap dance and then ask them why they don't show. So realize that that data exists. It is at their fingertips, and you have a right to see it so that you're making an informed judgment. Because competition is good. A marketplace where everybody is competing is good, but competing in a manner that helps everybody, not just themselves. So I'd love to hear your feedback on this. Again, it's Michael Shea, Transworld Business Advisors. I'm over in the Tampa market, but I do cover Orlando. Give me a call at 321-287-0349. I'd love to hear your feedback, or you can email me at mike@tworld.com. Have a great one.